Annual Conversation 2024 is our third annual conversation here in Cornwall, and we are joined by 123 people. During the year, the Children's Rights team at Cornwall Council have been raising awareness of the Lundy Model. They want to show what they are doing in Cornwall to work together with children and young people to hear their voices. The Lundy Model is a guide for adults with 4 parts: space, voice, audience and influence. We will tell you more about it in this video and how it helps us access our right to Article 12 of the UNCRC.
We want to share with you what we think the best bits of the annual conversation are. Respect for the views of the child. Every child has the right to express their views, feelings and wishes in all matters affecting them.
And they have to take their views considered and taken seriously. Space. We need to be given different ways to have our voices heard. The annual conversation is one of our many different ways to have our voices heard in Cornwall.
I'm Caden and I am here with...
Hi, I'm Kate Canally, I'm Chief Executive of Cornwall Council.
Nice to meet you, Kate.
Yeah, nice to see you, Caden.
What's the future for all of this?
Well, we want Cornwall to be a brilliant place to be a child and grow up, so what more can we do to make sure that all of our communities and our schools really excite young people and give them the opportunity to be their best self?
Tell me, what's the plans with the young people in Cornwall?
Yeah, well, I think it's great that we're having this annual conversation today, giving young people the opportunity to really influence how we plan and deliver services in Cornwall. Majorly important, given that young people make up 1 in 5 of residents of Cornwall. So I want to know what's on their mind so we can make sure that we're meeting their needs.
1 in 5 people?
Young people.
Wow.
Voice. It is important that we are supported to share our views. This can be done in many ways and includes being well informed and having enough time to think about what we want to share. At the annual conversation, there are subject experts who are involved in the conversations. When we speak to the expert, it means we can learn about how things really work, so we can have meaningful conversations about things that matter to us.
Why is it so important to you that young people have their voices heard?
I think since being involved in the very beginning, it's very important for young people to have their voices heard, because the annual conversation's been the only event that young people have the opportunity to be able to do this. And since I've been involved, everyone's been able to talk about the subjects that have been so passionate and serious about them.
Why do you think it's important that young people have their voices heard?
Because if the old people are voting for everything, then they're not going to live in it for like a really long time, are they? So it's children who need like the vote to vote and everything.
If like adults who are making decisions, it's most likely going to affect the children more than the adults, because we're going to grow up in this world and those decisions are going to affect what's going on in our future.
Audience. Our views must be heard. At the annual conversation, we know that our views are listened to by the council officers and councillors who attend.
I think that a lot of young people in Cornwall and around the world don't feel very listened to. A lot of people that should be listening to us are very patronising about it, and that can make a lot of young people feel uncomfortable with it.
How I feel about today's annual conversation, I think it went really well. All of my opinions and everything I had to say was heard, and I was able to share it in the chamber today.
There was lots of professionals and a great amount of people that were listening to me.
I think I have been heard because I have been listened to, and when I spoke everybody listened, not just ignore me.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm the current chair of Cornwall Youth Council and I'm a Children's Rights Project Support Officer.
What would you like to see accomplished from this evening and hopefully the future?
I think longer term, I would like to see more support for young people coming up through, especially through COVID and the cost of living crisis. But I think short term, it's just about listening to young people and how things like the cost of living crisis affect them and just taking us seriously.
Influence. The views, feelings and wishes we share must be acted upon. By going to the annual conversation, we get to work with adults to turn our conversation into actions. We have seen from previous year annual conversations that things really do happen from the conversations we have.
I'm Gabby and I'm from the Youth Council. Do you think the annual conversation is effective at listening to youth voices?
I definitely think it's effective at listening to youth voices. I was actually on the 2022 annual conversation and I was doing how young people can be heard, involved and taken seriously. We came up with the idea of having a bridge between young people, and a new role was created in the council, who is Laura Herbert, who is now the bridge between young people and adults working in the council.
So do you think you have influence in the decisions now?
Definitely. I think the council are really working hard to take us seriously as young people and use us to influence the decisions that they make.
What change that's being made from tonight do you think will be most impactful?
In our group, we were talking about making parks safer, because in our community, they're not just like you mentally feel unsafe, the park is generally unsafe. And I think it would be better if the council put more budget into the parks and places where children would like stay, to make sure they have a safe place around their community.
Since I've been involved, everyone's been able to talk about the subjects that have been so passionate and serious about them. One of them for me was mental health, and since being involved with it, I've been able to talk about how young people need more support and more access to mental health support. And since then, the support and being able to talk about how much it's needed is still going on, and it's getting better each year, and everyone's been able to do their own projects ever since the beginning. So for me, it's very important to be able to be involved and to keep talking about and keep pushing for projects to happen and from things to be improved.
Hi, I'm Rosie. I'm a deputy member of Cornwall Youth Council.
As a young person in Cornwall, do you think that your voice is heard and listened to?
Yeah, I do, because there are so many ways, so like the Cornwall Youth Council, Make Your Mark, all these different campaigns. I really think that when you take part in all these different things, that you can really get your voice listened to.
Do you think these campaigns are effective in spreading what should be and what will be Cornwall?
Yeah, I do think it is effective, because there are so many things that are done from what young people say. So for example, the youth part of the Cornwall careers page that they created because of the annual conversation.
I feel like I've been heard in this meeting because I was here last year, and all of the issues raised in last year's meeting has been fixed and made into what we were hoping.
So do you think the annual conversation has again been effective in teaching everyone and helping councillors understand that young people do need a voice and an audience?
Yeah, I think it has been really effective in showing that we do need to be listened to, because there are so many important things that have happened because of what we've said in these annual conversations, because we've shared our opinions with the councillors and people in charge of these sort of changes, that it's really got children as a whole listened to.
In Cornwall, adults like using the Lundy Model because it helps them think more deeply about the ways our voices, feelings and wishes can be respected, heard and acted upon. This helps to make Cornwall a brilliant place to be a child and to grow up.
There's nothing that cannot be accomplished if people have a will to make it happen.